Welcome. What I'm going to do today on the 54 Mark is change the air cleaner. I want to keep the factory look of the old oil bath air cleaner. If you don't know what an oil bath air cleaner is, you used to put motor oil, 30 weight motor oil in the bottom of this air cleaner. The air would come in, the dirty, dusty air would go down into the oil, the dirt would get stuck in the oil, and then the engine vacuum would suck the air up through the filter material that's in here. You can't replace it, and then it would go clean air into the carburetor. So on the inside air cleaner right about this line, you'd fill that up with 30 weight oil. It's dirty, it's old technology. I want to change it to a regular paper filter. So I found an old Wix catalog and I cut out some templates for some different size filters that are going to work, but I'm going to start to modify this. So I'll show you here. I'll put it up in the bucket so you can see it. There's the front of the air cleaner. That little gap's where all the air used to go in. So I'm going to do the same thing. It'll probably be up like that, and there'll be a paper filter in there. So let's get started. So I'm kind of making up as I go. I'm not exactly sure all the stuff I'm going to cut out, but I do know I have to cut these little tabs here so that I can get this filter material on the inside out, and then I'm going to cut around this ring with the grinder. So that'll be my next step. I'm going to need to fix this dent in the top here the best I can, but I want to leave a little bit of a lip for rigidity on this top. So I'll get the grinder and get to work. See, first, cut these ears off real quick. Now you can see that filter material in there. I'm going to take that out next. So I'm going to cut the next series of rings off and then cut around the outside. I actually thought that was connected to the top. It's not, so I guess that'll be coming out too. Now I got to cut along here. I'm going to try to figure out a way to cut it straight in one try instead of that. So what I have is my Lazy Susan. I'm going to set the air cleaner on top of it like so that I can spin it. And then since you're watching Sawdust and Chrome, we got some plywood and a piece of cedar. And I'm going to be able to set my grinder guard right on there and then spin around and maybe cut a nice equal line. I have it a little higher than I want because I'm going to try to roll that edge over. Let's give it a try. Safety. So that worked out way better than I thought it was going to. This cut nearly perfect, so I'm pleased with the Lazy Susan spinner. And now you can see that filter material that's like horsehair or something. I don't know what it is, but here. We don't want this anymore. We're gonna use a updated paper filter. So this top is definitely sturdy enough as it is. Doesn't have any flex in it. The edge is sharp, but I'll grind that down. But I got this new tool. I got an Eastwood bead roller, and I want to try to put a bead on there. If I had a tipping tool, I'd try to tip that edge in, but I don't really know how to do that. I just got it the other day, so I'm going to try to put a bead on here just because I got the tool. I don't think it's needed, but I want to try it. So there's the beaded edge. I have a little bit I'm going to trim off on the very bottom and sand it up, but there it is. Now I got to do a little body work. So I used some body tools. I got the metal pretty good. I got a bunch of the big dents out. I straightened out that edge around here, and it lays nice and flat if I put it on something flat that you'd be able to see. I filed that inside edge on my bead. I don't think I really needed the bead, but I had to use the new tool. I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. So here's coat one. I goofed up, I put a little too much hardener in and ran out of time to get the last little bit, so I'll put another coat on, see how it is. I know. Back in the shop this morning. Got a couple coats on here, feeling pretty smooth. Same thing with this guy. We got all the dents pulled out, and then a little bit of Bondo on where we couldn't quite get, but I'm gonna go outside and shoot them with some primer, wet sand, and then get ready for paint. Primer's dry, still needs some sanding. But I stopped at my local parts store and was able to get this. I cross-referenced it off of a Wix catalog that I had with a whole bunch of templates I made. This guy they had in stock. Happens to fit right down in there, but it's a little low. But it fits inside where the oil used to go perfectly. But if I put this cover on, then there's no space. So I need a spacer on the bottom of here. I'm gonna cut it out of plywood, hold it up, and then I'm pretty sure that that cover sits down and seals good enough, but I'll probably put a cap on the air cleaner so dirty air can't get over top. Piece of 3/4 plywood, I'm just gonna trace my filter. Traced it, time to jigsaw. I mocked it up on the car here. Here's my paper filter, sits in on my spacer. I said I was gonna attach a spacer to the bottom of the air cleaner. I'm not gonna do that. It sits in the bottom of the housing, really snug. Put the cover on. I'm not gonna put a cap on the air filter either. When this is on with the all thread in it, it pulls it down nice and tight. It seals up to the air cleaner. I'm happy with it. The reveal looks really good. You'd never know it wasn't stock unless you just peek in and see the paper filter, but who's looking that close anyway? I'll show you the reveal. I'm happy with it. The bead on there, you don't really need to do that, but I had a new tool. I think it looks cool. Nobody else will probably notice it, but just about ready for paint. I'll show you the reveal. So I'm really happy with the reveal. I like the little bead, but I don't think anybody else is gonna notice it other than me and you out there in YouTube land. There's my little laser engraved Mercury man. And the air cleaner and valve covers will be painted teal here shortly.